So we've had tons of people asking us, what's going on with the housing market? How is this gonna impact us? Should we be waiting to buy a house till the market crashes, or to all these things? And here's my answer to all of you. Let me break it down with the data. So we took the last, housing recession, which we're clearly not in, because this is where our market's at right now, and we've slowly increased since 2008, when the recession hit. I mean, the market dropped 13.9%. So we took examples, our current, $350,000 average sales price at today's historic low interest rates, say 4%, you'd be at a $1,670 payment. Now, say you wait for the market to drop, which, it only dropped 13.9% in the great housing recession. Let's just say it dropped 10% and you waited that out. At $315,000, which would be about 10%, at that interest rate of about 5%, your payment would be $1,691, okay? Which means it would be higher by waiting for the market to drop that much, and the market's not gonna drop that much. There's too much low supply on the market. We have way too much of demand. There are people coming from all different states to take advantage of our tax incentives, our what's going on in our city, and the rates are crazy. So say you had a $350,000 house, you waited a little bit and interest rates went up. If rates went up 2% to 6%, it'd be an $1,889 payment. Your payment would be that much of a difference by waiting and not locking in a good interest rate. So when you ask me about home prices and should I wait for the right pricing, you should be getting a good interest rate and locking them in while they're at historic lows. Now let's take the ridiculous. What if the market dropped 50%, which it's never done that? Say the market drops 50%. This would be around 50%. At 264, you'd have a same payment of what we're currently at 4%. And the market's not gonna drop 50%. So when you're trying to time it right, that's how much you'd have to time it right, and the market would have to completely crash. It would be devastating for people. Most likely you would be out of a job if that's it right there, because it would be horrible for our economy. So wanted to break this down to you and tell you, you don't need to time it right. You're not a stock trader. That's not what we're doing. The housing market is not like the stock market. It's not volatile like that. It's all based on supply, demand, and then I would be focused on what you can get as an interest rate. We locked in one of our clients at below 3% on a grant program about 30 days ago. Not saying that's where it's at today, but if you were paying attention to these things and quit waiting for the housing market to drop, which is not gonna happen that drastically, you're playing the wrong game here. So I hope I gave you some insight on what this looks like and what you need to be focusing on. It's these interest rates right here. We'd love to get you locked in at a good interest rate and get you a good payment that you can afford. We really want to just reach out and kind of educate everybody, because there's a lot of false information out there right now. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments.